Sunday and get the trophies all ready. And then at night, after we'd come home, he'd be up writing stories. And for some reason, if there were 3 drag rags, at times, and he would write a different story with carbon paper for each newspaper, just assuming that must be what a professional writer does. So he was up till 5, 6 in the morning, and then he'd go to work at the post office and drop off the mail to get to Doris Herbert and all the papers. So I liked writing and everything, and I was identifying the cars for him, and I kept asking him, can I write a story sometime? And he's like, yeah, sometime you can. It's fine. You're identifying all the cars, because my dad wasn't a gearhead. So for Father's Day, one June, when I was, I guess it was 64 when I was 14, I said, come on, Dad, let me write the story. My mom said, we've never been able to go out on Father's Day because you've got this drag strip job and it's always on Sunday. You're always working all night, so why don't you let David write the story? So I sat there all night, literally with writing out longhand. And then he came back and he still went until 5 in the morning because he had to type it all up. So he goes, he didn't say much for a couple days, and after it came out Drag News, I was pumped. There's my byline, and it was terrible, but it was a start. And I go, Dad, can I do that again? He goes, not until you learn to type, because that's too much work. Transcribers were both working all night. So I took a typing class at James Monroe High School and summer school when I was 15, and he gave it to me, and it was $5 a week out of his $25 is what I got for working all day and all night. So he was very supportive, very supportive.
Only a father could pay their kid $5 to work all day and all night. If you do that now, they'll send you to jail.
Hey, it's very good. We were so stingy. It was 50 cents an hour before that to work the pit gate. So it was actually a pretty good loan.
Nobody's ever before used the words Hibbler and stingy in the same sentence. I mean nobody. You're 14 years old and you're making Drag News bylines.
Yeah, it was great. And that was the thing about there was 2 ways to come up. You could take 4 years of Latin and come up that way. And a lot of my colleagues did. And the other way to come up was through the drag rags, because they would print pretty much anything you got there on time, they didn't libel somebody. And my dad used to say, you got to think really hard before you submit a story, and not because you're going to get sued, but because everybody knows where to find you on Sunday afternoon.
It's interesting you talk about libel. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You were never afraid of controversy. In 1975, there was the CHRR Gary Beck thing, which in our world of drag racing was a big thing. That threatened to really derail a lot of people, a lot of sponsorship, and you took the story head on.
It was what was happening. I mean, and the history of Drag News in particular was whatever was happening. Doris Herbert's attitude, the publisher was, if it's true, right, just make sure it's right, basically. And it was a very controversial time. We had IHRA, HRA, and HRA. There was competition. There were a lot of racers. There was a lot of issues. So I think it was more the times were there, and some of us were there to write about it if we were interested. And it was an interesting time. I mean, politically and everything else. So,
And of course, you talk about a lot of these controversies and stuff. You talk about your relationship with Wally Parks. You're never afraid to tell like it is. And you said, quote, it was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, really. I always loved him, and I thought he hated me for a long time. just to give you an idea, Drag News was the one thing Wally didn't control. There was no TV then. It was all print, basically. And he controlled all of Peterson, and he controlled basically the industry. The only thing he didn't control was Drag News that mattered. It killed him. So for years, we would email back and forth after all this. I'd ask him historical questions, and he would give me the courtesy of the answer. And his email address forever, till the end of his life, was Parks Wengard, ParksWengard. And so one of the last times I saw him, he was signing autographs here, and I sat down with him at the autograph table, and I said, Wally, I get the Parks part, but what's the Wengard part? He goes, no, it's got nothing to do with Parks. I go, no, your email address. So I'm thinking he's 90-something. Parks Wengard. He goes, no. He goes, write that out backwards. So I take my pad out, and I write it out backwards, and it spells Drag News crap. Anybody who inherited that space was going to have that problem. And in person, he was such a politician and such an amazing you thought you were his best friend, and then behind your back, he was dictating a hate letter to Robert E. Peterson to Dick Wells. Like, take care of this guy. But in person, he was ever the diplomat. He would stand there and he would give you like this death grip, when I was talking to you if he wasn't happy. That was the only sign you really had to be. Hated your guts.
People like that today we call politicians.
Would have been a good one.
So where would you put yourself? I mean, a writer, a photographer, an author? If Dave Wallace was a...
Really, I was unqualified for every single job I ever had.
And that's the kind of people we honor here.
The truth was, and since so many people here that know this, I can't really, lie about it, was there was always some older person who saw that you wanted to do it bad enough, and that you would work cheap because you wanted to do it bad enough, and you think you're going to go in there, I know what I'm doing, but I had no clue, any of these jobs, and they knew that too. CHRR, Harry Hibbler, I wasn't qualified to write the time slip booth when I was 11, really.
Well, it's amazing. You obviously snowed our selection committee.
Longevity,
And one thing that I know is near and dear to your heart, out here at the reunion, the Leslie Lovett photo contest. I mean, that's so special to you.
Yeah, it is. I got fished into doing that by Greg CHRR one year, and Leslie was really good. Leslie had a lot to do with a lot of people in this room. I was saying you could come up through Dragster that way too. If we came up, that was a route too. You're a track reporter, and you get published, and maybe somebody sees you at Parcraft or something and elevates you. And Leslie did that for a lot of people. He was gruff, but if you showed the right stuff, and Leslie would help. He would help you, and you didn't realize how much he was helping. And the contest, I always say, the ultimate compliment from Leslie was somebody would put a photo down in front of him, and he'd say, "That's bitchin'." And that was his. You knew that you really hit the home run. So we try to do that in the photo contest, and Rick Vogel, a lot of the people that I mentioned here tonight, media people vote every year. We pick people to vote, and they pick it, and everybody takes it real seriously. I'm really glad they did, and it keeps Leslie's memory alive. I think he was a big part. He had a big role in a lot of people's lives here.
That's very special. And who's here with you tonight? This rowdy crowd over here.
Way too many people to even start, but my wife Donna, and the lady we call my girlfriend Irene, who got home down here tonight. My son Ryan, my brother Sky, who a lot of you know, and I've got cousins and friends. And as I look, there's a lot of people here that I'm really happy to see. It's like your funeral without having to die.
He said it's like that funeral. Remember, call someone this week.